Hello and welcome to another episode of Fighting Falcons Talk, and I'm your host, Chris Baker. In this episode I will talk about the 4 Falcons games and the 5th installment of Around the League. Find out everything inside.
I belong to Hockey Town. It's a place where dreams are found. We fought so many battles here. Now we're the ones that never fear. The club resides within our town. We won't stop, no letting down. The cup is ours, we're all the drink. It's our town, let's rock this ring. Hey, Hockey Town. Not alone, just look around. Let's go, let's hear the sound. At every turn, the puck is dropped, the fever burns. Flesh speeds from brilliant daring. Red lights flash, horns are blaring. Hockey Town no longer spared. By our men in white and red, they dazzle us before our eyes. Lord Stanley's Cup, we have the prize. Hey, I belong, just look around. Hey, Hockey Town. Let's hear that sound. Hey, Hockey Town. Hey, Hockey Town.
The Falcons played 4 games this past week, 3 of them being at home. The first game came against the Traverse City North Stars on Wednesday at McMorran. The Falcons took a 3-0 lead after the first when Sierra, assisted by DeRosa and Nick, assisted by Pollen and Rivas, and Moroso, assisted by Powers and Limerande, all scored. The North Stars would cut the Falcons' lead down to 2 halfway through the game when they got a goal from Adams. The Falcons would then restore their 3-goal lead when Archibald scored off of assists from DeRosa and Sierra with about 6 minutes left in the second. The North Stars would then score with 2.5 minutes left in the second off a goal by Peacock to bring the score up to 4-2. There wasn't much action in the third up until the last minute of play when the Falcons got 2 shorthanded goals. The score was brought up to 5-2 with a Falcons shorthanded goal by Rivas, assisted by Powers with about 43 seconds left. Then the final goal of the game came from Limerande, unassisted, with about 27 seconds left in the game. Margaritas took the win for the Falcons, stopping 28 of the 30 shots he faced in front of a home crowd of about 357. Nick was awarded the first star of the game with a goal and an assist in the game. Sierra was awarded the second star of the game, also with a goal and assist. And DeRosa was awarded third star of the game with 2 assists. On Thursday, the Michigan Warriors took to the McMorran ice to face our Falcons. The Warriors dominated the first as they got 2 goals from Gruce and Thompson. It didn't take the Falcons long, though, after the intermission to regroup and come out shooting in the second. Limerande would score for the Falcons a minute and a half into the second, assisted by Lewandowski. 9 minutes after the Limerande goal, Powers tied up the game for the Falcons with an unassisted goal of his own. Unfortunately, the Falcons would get no more goals in the game as the Warriors scored 3 more to take a 5-2 win home to Flint. Milasek took the loss for Port Huron, stopping 28 of the 32 shots he faced in front of a crowd of 353. Limerande took the third star of the game, though, with a goal. Saturday was the third and final home game of the week when the Falcons played the Kalamazoo Junior Wings. This game was action-filled, with Kalamazoo getting all three of their goals within the first 6 minutes of the first period by Boyd, Payne, and Burden. Moroso scored the first goal of the game for the Falcons, assisted by the Marine and Powers, with about 13 minutes left in the first. In the second and third, it was full of penalties and fighting, with each team getting about 45 total minutes of penalties. And the Falcons, though, did score a second goal in the third from Miller on the power play, assisted by Pollen and Teal. Unfortunately, that would be it for the Falcons, and they would lose 3-2. Migaritas took the loss for the Falcons, stopping 21 of the 24 shots he faced in front of a crowd of almost 600. Moroso would take the second star, and Miller would take the third star of the game. On Sunday, Port Huron traveled to Kalamazoo to take on the Junior Wings for a second time in as many days. Port Huron got on top early, a minute and a half into the game, with a goal by Globkey. But the Junior Wings would get a goal shortly after that, with a goal by McDonald. About 7 minutes into the second, the Falcons would get back on top 2-1 with a goal by Lemoran, assisted by Sierra. Unfortunately, that would be it for the Falcons, and the Junior Wings would get 4 more goals by Payne, Galatero, Graves, and an empty netter by McDonald to get a 5-2 win over our Falcons. Middlesex would take the loss for Port Huron, stopping 40 of the 44 shots he faced in front of a crowd of about 230. Our Falcons are now 6-2. And now time for Around the League. On Wednesday, there was one other game when Fairbanks beat Fresno 4-3. And Thursday, Fairbanks beat Fresno again for a second time in as many nights, 3-1. On Friday, Jamestown beat Chicago 7-1. Amarillo beat Topeka 5-3. Cool Region Trail beat Minot Horses 3-0. Wichita Falls Wildcats beat Texas Tornado 4-3 in overtime. The Alexandria Blizzard beat the Aberdeen Wings 3-2. The Bismarck Bobcats beat the Austin Bruins 3-1. The Wenatchee Wild beat the Odessa Jackalopes 2-0. And the Alaska Avalanche shut out the Fresno Monsters 3-0. On Saturday, the Jamestown Ironmen beat the Chicago Hitmen 4-3 in overtime. Michigan Warriors beat the Traverse City North Stars 4-3 in a shootout. The Amarillo Bulls beat the Wichita Falls Wildcats 3-2. The Minot Horses beat the Cool Region Chill 4-3 in overtime. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays beat the New Mexico Mustangs 8-7. The Austin Bruins shut out the Bismarck Bobcats 3-0. The Alexandria Blizzard beat the Aberdeen Wings 4-3 in overtime. The Texas Tornado beat Topeka Roadrunners 4-3. Odessa Jackalopes shut out the Wenatchee Wild 1-0, and Alaska Avalanche beat Fresno 5-2. And on Sunday, Corpus Christi Ice Rays beat the New Mexico Mustangs 8-1. Alaska Avalanche beat the Fresno Monsters 3-1, and the Topeka Roadrunners beat the Texas Tornado 4-3 in overtime. And now, the division standings are as follows. In the Central Division, in first, Bismarck, 9-3-0 with 18 points. In second, Austin, 5-3-1 with 11 points. In third, Alexandria, 4-3-1 with 9 points. In fourth, Aberdeen, 4-6-1 with 9 points. And in fifth, Minot, 2-10-0 with 4 points. In the Midwest Division, in first, St. Louis, 8-2-1 with 17 points. In second, Janesville, 8-0-1 with 17 points. In third, Cool Region, 6-5-1 with 13 points. In fourth, Springfield, 4-7-0 with 8 points. And in fifth, Chicago, 2-10-1 with 5 points. In the North Division, Michigan is in first, 9-2-1 with 19 points. In second, Kalamazoo, 9-3-0 with 18 points. In third, our Port Huron Fighting Falcons, 6-6-2 with 14 points. In fourth, Traverse City, 5-2-3 with 13 points. And in fifth, Jamestown, 5-9-0 with 10 points. In the South Division, in first, Amarillo, 8-1-2 with 18 points. In second, Texas, 7-1-3 with 17 points. In third, Topeka, 7-5-1 with 15 points. In fourth, Corpus Christi, 6-5-0 with 12 points. In fifth, Odessa, 4-5-2 with 10 points. In sixth, Wichita Falls, 3-8-1 with 7 points. And in seventh, New Mexico, 2-9-0 with 4 points. And in the West Division, in first, Fairbanks, 9-0-5 with 23 points. In second, Fresno, 7-5-2 with 16 points. In third, Kenny River, 7-4-0 with 14 points. In fourth, Alaska, 6-4-1 with 13 points. In fifth, Wenatchee, 4-4-0 with 8 points. And in sixth, Dawson Creek, 3-7-0 with 6 points. And that's it for around the league. The next 2 games Port Huron will play will come on Friday, October 21st, when Kalamazoo travels to McMorran again. That start time is at 7 p.m. and the second and final game of this coming up week is October 22nd, when Jamestown travels to McMorran. The game will also be at 7 p.m. In Patriot news, the second tryout for the team will be at the Elite Indoor Sports, located at 49771 Oakland Drive in Shelby Township. The schedule will be as follows on October 30th. 11:30 to 12:30 will be registration and sign-in. 12:30 to 2 will be individual testing and position drills, and 2 to 3:30 will be team play. There's going to be a $60 pre-registration fee, and $75 if you register that day. If you'd like to pre-register, please contact Cindy at porthuronpatriots@gmail.com. The attire which you should be wearing is shoes and non-restrictive restrictive clothing, and the t-shirt will be given out on that day. Turf shoes are optional again. Remember, for all your Port Huron Fighting Falcons and Patriots news, check the show out each week, with each episode premiering on Sundays or Mondays when there is a game on Sunday. Until next time, have a sportstastic day.